All right, I think we're live. I believe we're live.
All right, testing. Sounds like we've got some audio. So hopefully you guys can hear me pretty well. Let me know when somebody hops on. I'd love to get an understanding of whether you can hear me clearly. I'm gonna hop into the group really quick, see if anybody's jumped on here. It might take just a moment and kind of hang out and wait. Also, tell me if you can hear me well or if it's choppy. I have an option to help out if it's kind of choppy, but I want to make sure. What I'm seeing so far, it looks like it's cruising pretty good, but I'm not quite sure. You want to let me know if you can hear me clearly. Open this live up. Here we go. So I'm going to try. See you and hear you. Sounds fine. Perfect. Okay, cool. All right, guys. So let me cut my audio off. Make sure we can hear me well. All right. So let's hop to it. One thing I need to do is go to our thread and pick up the venues that volunteered to be on this episode here. This is going to be the first of probably a couple that we'll have to do because there's just too many requests. But I do want to share. With everybody. I want everybody that posted in here to get an audit. I think it'd be really, really valuable for everyone. So we are going to do as many as possible. So let me hop in here. I'm loading up. We're going to start off with Fontaine Estates. And my goal is to try and jump right into it. And oops, where are we here? Let me see if I can get that one going. All right, cool. So we're on Fontaine Estates. So again, if we come back to our notes, and please, by all means, if you guys don't mind, if there's an issue with hearing me or anything like that, put it in the comments. I'm going to keep trying to peek over and check these out and make sure I can see if there's any issues going on there. So let me jump right in and share my screen with you guys. All right, let's share. Which one do we want? Okay, this one work. Great. Okay. So hopefully you guys can all see my screen. Okay. And what you should be seeing is Fontaine Estates Winery. Thank you so much for submission and allowing us to take a peek at what you're doing. And okay, cool. I see that it's on now. There is a little bit of a delay, so that actually helps me out a little bit. So right out of the gate, we're going to come to this, and we're looking at a few things. So remember, we're starting off with development and tech. So what type of tech is being used on this website? And what I know is that this is built on the Show It platform. And the Show It platform is...
Whoops, I'm just switching audio here. I think this is going to make it a little better for you guys. Awesome. The Show It platform is originally designed for portfolios. It's more of a portfolio type of a platform than it is like kind of a business selling platform. There isn't a lot of major customizations that you can do. It definitely doesn't integrate directly into whoops. I don't know what I was doing here. Well, let's just hop back. Sorry about that. So there aren't a ton of integrations that you can do, but it is a very pretty simple website. Where I want to start is I want to start with, obviously the technology is fine. What I think it is, I believe that Show It is probably going to be too much portfolio and not enough business. And so what I'd like to see is more of a business platform when you're actually operating more of a business that you actually need to acquire customers. You need to acquire leads out of this business. That's what it's there for. And so it's really important to me that that you're going to get enough functionality out of everything that's going on your website that I really want to make sure that your business is your website is serving a specific purpose. So technology, I'd probably flip platforms. The other thing about this platform that you need to kind of remember is that you don't own it. You don't own your stuff. The moment that you stop giving them money or you want to pick up and move your stuff, it doesn't go anywhere. It belongs to the platform that it's built in. Versus if you had a website that was built on a server, you could then at that point, you could actually use the platform, you could use the website files, and you could move it. You could move it to a different server. You could put it, a WordPress over here, WordPress on another site. Like, it doesn't matter. Those can cross over, HTML, things like that. And I know that's kind of nerdy stuff. So, all right. So that's tech. Next, we're going to go through design. This is obviously a very modern, clean, open space design, full width. One thing right out of the gate I want to share with you is that I'm on a 27-inch monitor. It's a big monitor. The reason I do this is that most websites will not scale accordingly. So they won't work on all website sizes. And you can look at the different sizes yourself. You can do it on your phone. You can, I'm going to actually pull this up on my phone right now. Fontaine Estates Winery right there. And we can see what happens on a mobile device. And this one scales pretty well. So that's fine there. Layout. We have a header up here. This looks like the venue here, right? But we can't see it. So we don't really know what this place looks like at this point. Then we have kind of an about. We jump. This is interesting. So we jump from kind of, hey, welcome to the website, to let us tell you about us. Now, a concern with that is that your website is not for you. It's for your prospects. So what shouldn't be happening is you should not be trying to tell your story to everybody all the time. What it should be is you guys should be selling them. You should be selling your venue, selling the beauty of it, the, video, the story of the venue, and how it's going to create the perfect day for them. Okay. So that's something to think about. But, this is obviously people fall in love with a beautiful family. So, for the Robert family, you're definitely going to get some oohs and ahs for that, which is great. Now it moves in here to photographs. I like that there's a slider that I can control it. This is important because if I can't control this and I have to sit here and wait for it, people will get bored and they will leave. So that's a good thing there. Now we get into details. The one thing I will say, I don't know if you guys can see this, is this font is pretty small, right? This is pretty tough to read no matter what type of a device you're on. Let me actually check on the phone really quick. It's pretty small font. You might want to increase the font size. And now coming down here to inquire, it looks like you put your information in this form here, and then click submit. Now, one thing I always look for is, can I click on this phone number and one click and go, one click and call, one click and text? Right here, this is not clickable. Email, which should always be clickable no matter what, should also be one click. So these, I would turn these into responsive links and let people do that. I see you have Facebook, but where is Instagram? Every venue has to have Instagram. So we should definitely get a little more specific on that. Make sure that you add that in here. It would be really, really important. So that's kind of layout. And now we're getting into content. So the pages, these are what are called jump links. So I don't know if you saw that, but if you click on it, it jumps down the page to the section. So what we have right here, and again, thank you guys for everybody who's here. I appreciate you. Candy, Karen, Bob, Ronnie, looks like Kelly Norris. Let's see, Bob, Cami. Hey, what's up, Cami? Katrina. Thank you guys for being on here. So those jump links are fine, but what it does tell me, wait, hold on a second here. So these do not link, they don't work. So photos and info, excuse me, do not actually jump. They don't do anything. So a good thing to do would be to fix these. Looks like, okay, contact works. Okay, so there's 2 buttons up here at the top that do not work. One thing that, as far as content goes, excuse me, you know what, I jumped past brand, so I'll come right back to that. But as far as content goes, there's only the homepage. There's only one page. What we do want to do is actually make sure that there's enough depth in this website that, that you can gain some value out of it, that you can get people to dive a little deeper into the content if they need more information. Because right now, the only thing that I can get out of this website right here is this beautiful Robert family. I can see some photos. I can read a little blurb, and that's it. So I know nothing else. And I can't one-click text you, one-click call you. Also at the top, so now we're kind of jumping to lead generation and communication. Right here on the homepage, this is really important to understand. This is what's called above the fold. Everything you see at that initial website page load, everything you see on the screen, this is basically the bottom of the screen is called the fold. This is where you need to sell. You have 7 seconds to get their attention, keep them on your website, and give them what they're looking for. But most importantly, if they immediately want to communicate with you, they better be able to do it. There's no phone number, there's no text, there's no email, there's no Facebook Messenger. There's nothing here that I could actually communicate with you. I can click contact, go down to the bottom, and then get, dead links and fill out a contact form. But it also doesn't tell me what I'm going to get if I fill out a contact form. So I think that this website should be restructured to really be about communication. The other thing too, there's no indication that I can get pricing information from you, that I can get anything. All I know is that I can fill out a contact form, right? And so again, we're dealing with millennials. We want to make this as simple and as easy as possible for millennials to make their decisions. Now, I'm jumping back to brand really quick because I skipped it. I apologize. How does the brand carry through the website? So the venue isn't really shown. Through those photos, I went through them earlier. There's nothing that shows the building, and maybe the building isn't part of it, but if it's not part of it, then we should probably put something else here. Another quick factor for you guys to notice is, so this scales. So it's not scaling properly is the point. But if I move it so that it looks like it's a small monitor instead of my large one, you can see more of the building. You can get a better idea there. But when I pull it back out, it doesn't. And so what I want you to know is that scaling issue, that's a simple web development problem, right? And we want to make sure that no matter what size monitor somebody's looking at it on, they're seeing the right thing, the same thing, so that it works for them. So your brand font is this font here. And then it looks like this 25, established in 2005. So it pretty much matches kind of the font down here. And then your headline font, welcome, is a little bit of a different style. That's fine because it looks like throughout the website, you're using about 2 font styles. So I would definitely be okay with that. What I think is missing is a lot of content, video, lead generation. You don't have anything on here that's asking for my information. The only reason somebody visits your site is because they're looking to connect with your business. You need to ask them to do business with you. So just as a sales aspect for people, one of the number one reasons businesses fail is because they don't ask people to buy their stuff. So I want to invite you to start putting lead generation assets on your website. I think it'd be really valuable for you. So that is Fontaine Estates. I appreciate it. Hopefully you got to see this. If you didn't, go rewatch it. Obviously this will be on the in the Facebook group, and you can check it out when you're ready. Appreciate it. We're going to jump to the next website. So give me a second. Let me find out who that was. If I'm not mistaken, hopefully you're not going to stare at yourself here. You are. Let's try to get out of here. really quick and get back to the group to where I believe it was Butler's Corner. Hang on one sec. Sorry. Once this Facebook Live's going, the server kind of runs super slow. So give me 2 seconds. We'll pull up who's next and then keep rolling. All right, here we go. So Facebook Live. Come on, guys. Here we come. I guess I should have had all these links. Oh, here we go. All right. So we have, who's next? Fontaine Estates. Oh, awesome. Butler's Courtyard. That's what it is. Excuse me. All right. Hey, Amber. You're on here, and so is Ronnie. So this is, I believe this is you guys. Excited to check you guys out. All right, here we are. Butler's Courtyard in Texas. So the page is loading on its own. It's going to run a little slower than probably normal because of the Facebook Live. As you can see, there's already something broken right here, right? The way the page loads is definitely a broken element. It loads the video really big, as it probably is intended. And then the video basically gets lost behind the header and behind part of the actual body. And so there's a little bit of what's called a parallax element here, which basically means that the video, the background sits static while the content on the page scrolls over the top. If you saw also these images loaded kind of late, that's a CSS loading issue. Definitely going to be annoying to some people. So what I would do is I would look at that as making a change there. Obviously, there's some technology kind of issues with the way that things are laid out in the site and the way that they are displaying. So I would definitely look into that. This header is because now we're kind of going into design, right? The header is way too big. So this logo right here could be about 30% that size, no bigger than this area right here. And it would pull this menu all the way up to here, and it would create so much more space. Realize that when you're cutting it off and somebody actually wants to see this, like I want to see this video because this is showing the whole venue. It's showing everything right here, but I can't see it. And no matter what I do, I can't watch the video. So I'm probably going to be frustrated because, call me a millennial. I'm a little bit outside of it, but call me a millennial and my patience is too short and I'm going to take off. Right. And so that's something to be aware of. Now, the rest of the design, let's scroll through the page here. Let's, so this looks like, okay, so that one looks like it should be a link, but it's not. That one is, that goes to some content. That does. Okay. All right. So let's make sure that the design, the layout, okay, you're showing some content. Now you're down here to contact forms. Got it. Okay. This looks pretty good. Oh, one thing actually here, check this at the bottom of the page. Terms of use and privacy policy, kind of important. I did not see that on the Fontaine Estates one. So I'm not sure. Was that Amy? That might have been Amy. Was that you that offered that up? Yeah, Amy Robert. Yeah. Something to make sure that you always do is that you have these terms of use or terms and conditions and a privacy policy on every single website. It is vitally important. And there's a lot of places that you can actually create like a terms generator and things like that. That'll be really, really powerful for you guys to use because basically you put in your business information, what you do, your website address, contact information, address. It'll ask you a few questions and then it basically spits out an entire, legal document that works in almost every state in this country. It's super easy. So definitely look into those. So I guess the one thing that I would say with these squares right here, they're a little confusing. They look like they should all be buttons. This one's not. So maybe consider updating that there. You guys have a ton of content, a lot of pages, and it looks like you guys have multiple venue location, basically, options to get married at your guys' venue. So if we click on this one here, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for layout kind of design style all the way through the website. Does it remain constant? And so that was the rustic. This is the industrial chic venue. And okay, so this one does not have a photo. The other one does. What I would do is definitely add that in. Also, typically you don't want to double up on scripty fonts. So this here is below this one here. So if this is going to be your headline font, that scripty font, make it your headline. Then anything that's below that, let's go ahead and use something a little more kind of consistent, easy to read. You do want to make sure that it's very easy to read no matter what type of a device you're on. And that actually reminds me, let me go check out Butler's Courtyard. There we go. Let me load it on a mobile phone, see how it looks. So on a mobile phone, that video actually loads what looks like in its own frame to where I can see it really, really well. And there's a couple areas that kind of cut off a little bit on mobile. Not too bad, but it looks like it works pretty well. And then the menu pops out well. That looks all pretty good. What I would do, let's check that last venue location. Excuse me. Let's check this page. And this is a completely different layout than the rest of the pages. This looks like a completely different website at this point. So this went full width, lots of photos, as opposed to the other two venue locations didn't. So looks like this one has kind of more of its own brand. So maybe create some consistency between these three, just so that when somebody goes, they don't feel like they just completely left your business and went somewhere else. All right, so schedule a tour. Oh, that jumps and that just opens in email. Okay. I would probably do something more like a web form so that you can start tracking it. I think that would be a little more beneficial. Is this a click to call? Yeah, that's a click to call. And let's go to contact page and look at what we've got going on there. And so the contact page is here. I guess I don't really know what this thing. Oh, that's a map. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. So the pages hadn't loaded yet. Could be the speed because of the Facebook Live. Could definitely be the speed due to that. So don't take it that every website's loading super slow. It's probably a lot to do with Facebook as well. And let's see here. Oh, you said that is a second venue. So, okay, thanks for the input there, Amber. And all right, so I guess if we were to hop back to the homepage, we're not going to go through every single page, obviously. You know what I do want to do is go to wedding and receptions. I want to see what kind of is on this page here. All right, so this page looks similar to kind of the other ones. And it's going to give some details here, some content. Is that right? Did I end up on the right one? So if I click wedding and receptions, oh, so I must have accidentally clicked the wrong link. Okay. So we are now on wedding and receptions, this link here. And I'm going to tell you this slider right here, which is basically just a parallax image in the background. I would definitely do something different with that. So if you notice what you can see right now. Now imagine that I have a smaller monitor, and let's see what part of the body we get to look at as we scroll in, right? Not really what you want to be showcasing as a page loads. So kind of think about this for a second. This is the first thing somebody's seeing, depending on their monitor size, again, right? And I know it's parallax, right? So as you scroll, it's going to get up and it's going to show their faces. That parallax feature, it gets tricky because it's hard to scale across every monitor size. And so what I might do is just put a static image in here that provides some, just something clear that is easy to see. It's beautiful. It attracts attention and makes everybody happy to see it. This parallax feature used to be really, really, kind of nifty, but it's just kind of played out and it's not as common anymore because it really doesn't serve a design purpose at this point. Especially because most websites they're all flat now. So they're not going with any depth. There's no shadows. There's no, it's all flat. And so having layers, which is a parallax image behind content, is kind of adding multiple layers to it. So you guys may want to rethink that piece by itself. And then as we scroll down, okay, so now we get to pricing. So here we go here. We have our pricing. So here's something that's kind of interesting to me. So again, I didn't say this in the first 2 seconds of the, that I probably should have, but I'm going to tell you that I'm going to be brutally honest. You guys asked for feedback, so I'm going to give it to you straight up. Here's what's really confusing and what will piss off a lot of millennials. So I see that there's a $10,000 price point. And then I scroll down and I go, oh, cool. So this is for food and beverage. Oh, wait. So this is required. So 10,000 plus 3,000. So my wedding's actually 13,000. Okay, great. Oh, so now we have to add 8% on top of that. Okay. So what else is going to get added later? Right. And so this is nothing, Amber, I appreciate that you just said, bring it on. Here's the deal. It was a big topic at Wedding MBA last year. Something a lot of people brought back and talked to me about and said, hey, all-inclusive type pricing or kind of single price point pricing is the way to go. At our venue, I'm a partner and an owner in a venue in Northern California. We've been doing flat rate pricing for 16 years, and we've done over 1,600 weddings, and we do over 100 multi-day weddings every year. But and here's the thing, you don't have to follow that advice from me, but I'm going to give this to it once throughout this whole thing. I might do it again on Thursday when we do the second one, but my belief on pricing is that you need to make it as simple as possible for the client. Millennials want to buy things the way they want to buy them. They'll spend an obnoxious amount of money. They'll go to Coachella and they'll go to every music festival in the world, even if it costs them $5,000, $7,000 to do it. But they know that when they buy that, it's $5,000. Like that's it. When there's service fees and there's tax and there's all these things that keep getting piled on, they have no idea what that end total is going to look like. And for those venues who have to break out a spreadsheet to start to get people to even do the math and figure out, and you have line items for days, that is really, really causing friction in your sales process. And you may be uber successful and killing it. All I want to do is take this much friction out of the process of selling. And for those of you who want to book more weddings, just think the easier you can make it on your couples, the faster you get them to write their first check. So as far as, some continued content here, if you look right here at the layout of this page, you have this pricing looks like it's non-peak, right? It's under that. Is it its own pricing? Are we missing something? Keep it in alignment. So I would probably figure out how you're making columns, make those columns make sense. You could also, to make this make a little more sense, like if you could follow my mouse here for a second, like almost taking this entire section below here because it's supposed to be different and changing the background color, even just slightly, could really improve just the visual aspect of it. But I would really work on alignment. Like this is kind of running into the margin here. Create good, clean columns. Make it really, really simple for people to communicate, to read, make sure that they really get what they're actually looking at. Like you did here, this is nice and clean. You might want to justify it on this side, but that's not a huge issue. All right. So we talked about the header already. The one thing right out of the gate, you guys have good communication options right on the homepage, which is fantastic. What I don't see right here is you asking me for information in exchange for some sort of content. So what I was going to get at was when we get to pricing, I'm going to say this once, hopefully, And I know this one's kind of running a little longer, but please bear with me here for a second. It's really, really valuable to keep pricing off of your website. Yes, I just said that. I believe, and I know I'm going to fight a lot of people on this. A lot of people at Wedding MBA think you should put the pricing on there. If somebody can't afford it, they won't even bother you. I completely disagree. Our average wedding is $30,000. We get people all the time who tell us my budget for our wedding is only 15 grand, but magically they fall in love with the venue and they show up with $40,000 to spend magically. And then, I think I just read in the Knot report that they put out, like something over 60 or 70% of weddings go over budget anyway. Everybody has more money than they're telling you to spend on their wedding. If you let people window shop you and price shop you, you miss out on a ton of opportunity. So here's how we do it, and that I believe everybody should be doing it, is we use marketing automation to filter out those people who are not a good fit. So we hide pricing. I force them to give me their information in exchange for a pricing brochure. If they want to know pricing, I want them to have it, but I want them to see it and decide for themselves after I have their information. Now I have their name, their email, their phone number. I can now begin to market to them. I can text message them through automation, automated text campaigns. Then those convert into two-way text so we can actually have a dialogue. Also, we email market. We run retargeting Facebook ads. We do all of that, ringless voicemail. We do all of it because we have the opportunity. And all of that requires zero human work. Nobody does anything. It's all automated. And so when somebody says, this looks great, I'm interested in a tour, boom. Now a human steps in. Now the sales process really begins. Marketing did its job and brought an opportunity to the table. We get it all the time. I don't have the money. I don't have the money. I love the venue. Magically, I have an extra 40 grand in my pocket. Weird. Don't negate the fact that people might go to uncle whoever and get a little extra money. They might get daddy to increase the spend on and the budget on the wedding. There's a lot of options. So kind of think about that. Okay, that's my rant. That's how I do it. I know that a lot of people think differently. Do it how you want to do it. I'm just telling you, I'm all about generating leads. There's basically 3 ways to make more money and book more weddings. You have three options. You can increase the number of leads you have, and then by nature, you're going to have more tours, and then you're going to book more weddings. Or you can get better at taking the leads you do get and increasing the number of tours that come out of that same number of leads. Well, that requires some internal marketing automation. And then of course, then you sell the same, same closing percentage. So naturally, because you have more tours, you end up with more weddings. The other option is that you get better at sales and you convert more of the tours that you do have. So if you're currently closing 40% of your tours, if you bump that by 10%, it's going to be a gigantic lift in the amount of revenue that you have in your business. So hopefully that helps. Those are a few of the quick things that I would do myself. I'm looking to see if there's anything else in this website that's, kind of crazy. Nope. Looks like you guys have, are these all images? See, it's weird. So here's one thing that I would say for you, Amber, right? On the homepage, these are links, links. On the homepage, these are links. On this page, they're not links. Oh, and then you have a video up here. Great video. Hey, use video. Super important. So I would say if this style is a link on one place, it should be a link on the next. That's a thought. All right. So I'm going to kind of leave it at that. And I hope there was some insight there. Amber, Ronnie, if you guys want more, if you have more questions or something, feel free to reach out and we can chat from there. Woo! Okay, that was a long one. I apologize. I know I went off on a couple tangents for a couple minutes. I wanted to get a couple main points across there. Okay, we are going to hop to, let's see who's next. La Escondida. All right, here we go. So let's load this one up. I think this is the one with purple in their color scheme. I am a huge purple fan. It's my favorite color. I don't know why. I have no idea where I got it. It's my sister's favorite color too. So maybe that had something to do with it growing up. But all right. So we have a very clean, crisp website, very distinct logo brand. And if we're looking at the technology, this is very clean, obviously, flows really, really well. There's good spacing. It looks like all of this is like somewhat up to date. So if I'm looking at, yeah, I mean, all of this is working really, really well. So I would definitely say this is a pretty clean tech. Next, if we look at design, color schemes are a choice. You will attract and repel based on your color schemes. I love purple. Not a huge fan of fluorescent, bright green, but to each their own. If you're attracting and you have enough people coming in, then awesome. How many weddings are you currently doing? You said you're doing 25 to 30 and you want to jump to 40-ish. Okay, cool. So right out of the gate, here's a simple thing that I think you could do, because when I look at the design and what I'm looking at, I see no way to get in touch with you right here. Here's a schedule tour button. Okay, so that's one. Now that's one step though to get there. So now we get on this page and now I'm going to fill out a decent amount of information and then you're going to contact me back. So that doesn't really feel like I'm scheduling a tour. That feels like I'm requesting a tour. So, consider that terminology a little bit as well. But at the top of the page, you definitely need phone number, text, email, Facebook Messenger. This probably goes to your page. Yes, it does. I would do Facebook Messenger. Let people go directly in there and message you direct. I think that it's important. Really quick, I'm just checking the comments. You are welcome, Amber. Thank you so much for allowing us to do that. Yes, the videos will be kept up, and so they'll be up right here in the group. So if you let your person into the group, they'll definitely have the option to see it, and you can watch it again. All right. So let's see. So contact information at the top, and I know that kind of jumps to like lead gen. Again, there's nothing here that says, "Hey, Joe, give us your information." There's nothing. That is vital. And I'm going to stress it over and over and over and over again. It's vital that we have the opportunity to get information from people. As we scroll down and we're kind of carrying through here. All right. So we have, let's look at a couple things that are going on. We have a few different types of font going on. This one here is different than this one, which is, I believe, the same as that one. So let's see if this gets carried through the website anywhere. We want to make sure that we're using similar typography throughout the entire website. One thing right here, I actually noticed this the other day when I first looked at this website. This one right here it's really, really important that bullet points actually look like bullet points. So don't center all of your text all the time. I would align this left because it's a set of bullet points. So I would align it left so it actually looks like bullets. It's very easy to digest. Like, look at this. Like, this is a very long string of text for somebody to read when they're expecting something like this because it's a bullet. So that might be valuable for you to, to change up, and it'll probably increase the readability on the website. All right, so let's jump into weddings here really quick. I want to check this out and see what's going on. All right, we've got, cool photo. Again, lots of centered text. I would tweak that. Looks like you have some sort of a virtual tour available. Opens in a new tab, which is a nice thing. Okay. The website's very consistent in how it flows and delivers content. So this is going to a third party. Do you own this? I'm not sure who was this? Was this Candy? Candy, are you still on? And if you are on, is Starlight, or excuse me, is SanAntonioWeddings.com, is that your website? I'd love to know if you actually own that, or if you're diverting to a third party. Awesome. Okay, you do own it. I see that. Thank you so much. All right, cool. So you've got this virtual tour here, which is great. I'm trying to see how I can manipulate it. Okay, so it's kind of a single point 360, and then there's another 360. Sorry, I'm going to make you dizzy and probably nauseous with my jumping around here. So you jump in here, okay? And okay, cool. I want to jump out to here, okay? And yeah, so these are each 360 photos essentially. Awesome. Okay, cool. So that's nice. People can see your venue. Cool. Now let's see here, because there was something I want to be clear here. There was something on here that I saw, and I wanted to make sure that I shared it with you because it was really, really off brand. And it might be on this page. Yes, it is. Okay. So here we go. This is the pricing page. I already gave you my spiel. My spiel on pricing on a website. However, do your thing, you do you. But just realize that simplicity, making it super, super easy for your clients to say yes to you, to get what they want from you. Make it easy, but also make sure that you collect their information. You've got to be able to market and sell to them. So here I am on this page. Of course I want pricing. I click on wedding pricing. Let me show you where I go. So this is a little PDF document, and it is completely off brand. I don't like this top up here doesn't exist anywhere in the website. This is very much off brand up here. I would completely redesign this to be something, beautiful, really, really nice, flashy with some photos to make it really look like your venue. I think that would be extremely valuable. This looks just like a Word document, which actually, that's exactly what it is. Essentially, you can see right here in the top, it's actually a Word document that was saved as a PDF. So this is also really difficult to read. And so I would make it a little more beautiful, something that is, that has a lot of value for your visitors. And I'm going to actually jump over here on my other monitor, and I'm going to pull up an example of a brochure that I can show you what I'm talking about when it comes to pricing, because here's the next piece. So what are these called? These are ceremony and reception. Okay, there's that. Next, a la carte services, new PDF. Right here. Now we're even further off brand, right? Now the typography is even different. This is really nowhere on the site. So I would kind of update this. It looks like, is there a cost to all these? These are a la carte pricing list. Oh, you have to ask for it. So what would be the point in clicking on this, landing on it, and then telling us to go ask for it, right? What I'd rather do is I'd rather you break this down into some bullet points with some pricing. Like, let us see it. Next is going to be a sample special package. I'm not really clear what that is, but it's a lot of text, right? Remember, millennials don't really read. So I would break this out into something super simple. And yes, here's some pricing. I would roll this into a beautiful PDF document. Here, I'm actually going to show you what one looks like. Give me 1 second. All right, let's see here. One quick sec. Come on, load. All right. All right, here, I'm going to flip. Whoops. Let me actually just flip this one here. And so, each of these, like, what is an upgrade package, right? Whoops. So an upgrade package, military first responder teacher. Okay, cool. Again, I would go back to your typography that matches your brand. So this is our brochure here. And when somebody downloads this, they can go through and they can get pretty simple details, right? They can go through each of this. They can see what some pricing is for certain days. They got it. Here's the accommodations that we have. And you know, this is really what we offer right here. Few photos, but very clean. Little bit of you know, simple typography, really simple, right? This explains what our wedding planner does, how they help you out. And then lastly, you know, they can go through and they can actually, you know, book a tour through here. And so, oh, here's some FAQs, boom. And so this is basically our simple brochure. And this is how we, you know, we sell our weddings. And it all starts off with somebody grabbing one of those. So I would definitely work on these all being one, and maybe even like some of this stuff may not need to have all of these different things. You may not need to show all of these things. Payment policy, you can deal with that after they say yes, right? Get them to say yes, then let them know what the policy is. But I don't think there's any reason to just, you know, give somebody a payment policy for no reason on the front end. Like, let's just leave that out. So, all right. You've got, you guys obviously do more than just weddings. So you've got all that. But yeah, I mean, one of the big things I would say is really try to put some contact information, let people get in touch with you, ask them for information, maybe rebrand that, that entire PDF sequence and try to put it into one thing. You can have a graphic designer do it really, really easy. So, all right. Who is up for one more? That was our third one, and we can jump and we'll do Stonegate. So, Matt or Jenny, are they on by chance? Either way, this is going to be saved. It's going to be live up here. You can just go press the play button and rewatch this at a later date. All right. So here we go. We have Stonegate. And by any chance, are the Stonegate owners or operators, are you guys online on the chat? I didn't see you jump on, but I just want to make sure. Anybody okay with, thanks for the info. We'll work on that this week. Awesome. Great, Candy. I appreciate it. I'm glad I could help. Let me know if you need anything. Feel free to friend request me or whatever, and we could chat it out in Facebook Messenger. All right. So, okay. Stonegate Weddings and Events. This is beautiful venue. The website built on the Wix platform. I'm gonna give my I think there's somebody else who's built on Wix as well, and so I'll give my kind of version of what Wix is actually designed for. Wix is a web platform designed. It was originally designed for like a craft mom to post her stuff and potentially, you know, offer it to, you know, to people to buy. And it was not designed to operate a business. So if you were to go Google something, you will almost never get a result that is a Wix website. They are not designed, and they still, for whatever reason, they have not been able to really break through and get ranked. They haven't been able to get themselves ranked well in the search engines. And it's just something to do with the way that their websites index and so forth. It's all kind of nerdy stuff. But Wix is just not a great platform. So right up here, we have a header that does not move. Okay. So the technology is already something that I'm not a huge fan of Wix. Again, if somebody likes Wix, I apologize. But truthfully, in a business sense, it's just not a great platform. It's just not. So this header is what we call a sticky header. And I think somebody else might've had one. But if you notice, it doesn't move. So here's what happens when you have a smaller monitor. So now let's say we're on a normal 13-inch MacBook Pro, right? Because I'm a Mac guy. And or you're just on a smaller laptop. And this is all you get to see. So this space right here is where you have to do all of your selling. And because you decided that the header needed to be gigantic, you actually eliminate the space that you give yourself the opportunity to sell. So I would definitely reduce the size of your logo. and make it easier for people. You know, that there was actually something as well I wanted to mention on the what was it? On the mobile, excuse me, Stonegate. What is it? Stonegate Weddings. That's what it is. Stonegate Weddings.com. Okay, so let's check this out here. So there was something to do with the way that the images loaded. Well, they actually look like they're fine here. So maybe it was a different page. So glad these things are kind of looking okay. But all right, so let's whoops. Okay. So let's go here again, you know, kind of similar to the last website. We've got a lot of font that is supposed to be red. This font is supposed to be something that we read, but yet it's not in a format that we actually read. There are 0 books in the world that center all of their font, all of their text, right? That's not how we read. We've never been conditioned to read that way. So make it easy for people to read your content. All right. So when we look at brand, this is something that I want to get into. So we've got all right. So we've got Stonegate up here. This is the font that their brand is in. And then we've got a different font going for this up here. Also, I don't care for the color scheme against the white. Really difficult to read, especially because there's no hover effect. So you don't know really what is going to get clicked on, you know, specifically. So I would definitely look at doing something different with that. Actually, my recommendation at the end of this is going to be to move off of Wix. I'll tell you that clearly right now. So I would reduce the size of this, but then when we get in here, right? So we have one font right here. We have another font type right here. So that's 2. We have another font type right here, which is 3. And now as we scroll down, I think that one is the same as that one. All right, cool. And so we're there, but this is actually different. So that's 4 fonts. And okay, so far we're working with 4 different font types, which is, you know, not necessary. So I really wouldn't do that. I would stick to 2 at the max, a headline font and a body copy, a body font, right? That's it. Very simple. Now, here's something that's interesting I want you to notice. So as we go through the website, I want you to look and try to find one shadow, meaning there's a drop shadow, which indicates depth, right? Everything here is flat, meaning there's no shadow for the text. There's no shadow for the logo or the images or anything that's here. So then we scroll down and we get to a button that is curved, right? It's supposed to assume that there's depth. So that's different than the rest of the brand of the site. And now if we scroll down even further, the same button text is sitting on a flat button. So what I'm going to suggest is that you need to pick a brand. You need to pick a style. You know, so if we kind of like, we'll just keep kind of jumping. I want to go through these pages. Oh, pricing. That's what I was trying to get to. So pricing, and I don't know if you just noticed, but there was pricing on the homepage too. So we'll kind of get to that point in a second. But so here we go here. And this is pricing. And now we have, again, those 2 buttons. Now, if we go into spaces, and give me a second here. Here we go. This is what I want you to notice. Do you notice what happened to the entire website structure? It completely changed. So we went from, and I'm going to open this in a new window so we could kind of flip back and forth here. So we went from what would be not a full width website, right? Because it ends right here. These are the margins, right? A lot of white space, not full width. And then over here, it's a full width website. Now they add a parallax feature. We've got our 5th different font. We've got brand new button styles. These are hollow, right? And we also brought in a new element, which is a hexagon. That doesn't exist anywhere else in the site. So we've got quite a few things going on that are starting to, not really jive. They're not, not working together well. And so what we want to do is make sure that we step back, we revamp, and we make everything consistent. So let me see what Stonegate said that they were doing as far as the number of weddings. Because what I'd like to do is see if we could really, really help out. Okay, so they're doing 75 to 100 and they want to jump to 125. So they've got a lot of business coming in. So could you imagine what they could do with all of the traffic that's coming into their business if it was cleaned up, if they reduce some of the frictional elements? They could really, really create I think they could jump to that 125 mark super fast. So some things that I would do is, create improved columns, right? Make these real, a little more obvious. Let's see. Again, don't go centered with everything. I actually wouldn't put pricing on the homepage. If you have a pricing page as well, it's kind of redundant to have both. Unless you just literally have so much website traffic, you're actually trying to turn people away, which maybe that's the case. I don't know. I would, fix up some of the typography so that you're using maybe 2 fonts throughout the whole site to keep it very consistent. Let's see here. Yeah. So we've got all of our pricing here. There isn't really any lead generation option. If I call to schedule a tour, so that's a click to call. Let's see. Is there any other, I guess there's a contact page. Is this the other option to get in touch? Because there's nothing up here to get in touch with you. No phone number, no email, no Facebook, Messenger, nothing up here. So click to call or text. That opens call. That opens nothing. Okay, so that's not opening anything. All right. So then email and then their address here. Kind of a funky web form. I would probably just make this real simple, right? I don't know how. Let me actually see, how does that one actually work on a mobile device? I didn't actually check that out to see how that plays out on mobile. But that's kind of an interesting. I've never actually seen a web form like that. Let's see here. How does it work? Okay. So it appears to work on mobile too, but yeah, I might just simplify it. Again, you've got a lot of centered font. You might want to make it so it's actually, it's more in line with how we read. That would be my suggestion there. So, you're doing a lot of weddings already. What was your price point? Actually, let me see that. Sometimes obviously price point has a lot to do with the number of volume that you do. So yeah, so if you're doing rentals, at $2,000, I could see you get a lot of, 2,500. Okay. So weekends, here we go. So $3,000, 2,500 for each of those. So they can do, it appears they can do 3 weddings potentially at the same time. That is different. So I don't know if Amber was still on. Can you guys do, if Amber or Ronnie are still on, can you guys do multiple weddings at the same time? I think you have 2 separate venues, but wasn't there 2 spots in one of your venues that you could actually do multiple? I don't know if either of you are on, but I just thought about that. So that makes sense why they can do 100 really, really quickly, because they have 3 different options. We have one that's local. That's kind of a competitor of ours, that we call it a competitor, but it's a very different type of a venue. But I would tell, they can do 6 weddings at one time. And in each of those, they can do 2 a day. So they have the potential of doing 12 weddings in a single day. It's a country club, and it's pretty interesting. So Ronnie, thank you for answering that question. I just saw that come through. Can you do 2 weddings at the same So Butler's Courtyard, not the Fig, whatever that one was. I apologize for not knowing the name, but can you do 2 at Butler's? Hopefully you'll hear that in a sec. All right. So that's Stonegate. I'm gonna kind of close that out. And I want to see what Ronnie says here really quick. Hopefully he replies. So hopefully that was some value for you. You know what? I saw Cami on here. I'm going to do something here for Cami's sake because I saw her on here. And Cami is a client of ours. We just recently redid their website. And I want to show you some of what I'm talking about when it comes to communications. You do 1 per day. Okay, so Ronnie's saying, and this is Butler's Courtyard that we did a couple minutes ago. We do 1 per day, and that's specifically part of their brand, and they're doing over 100 a year too. So that, you know, they're doing fantastic. So I'm really excited to see what they can do with some of their some of these changes in their website and see if they can start hooking some more. So Cami, I don't know if you're on still. I saw you popped on a couple minutes ago. Cami, if you want to just give me a what's up in the comments here real quick. So Crestview Lodge is out in the middle of nowhere in Colorado. It's out in the mountains. And they do destination style weddings, very actually similar to our venue as well. They have a beautiful lodge. This is their home. I think it's about 14,000 square feet. Was that about right? And they can house a lot of people. And so really, really cool. It's out in Granby. They're a client of ours. It's a 55-acre piece of property. They do winter weddings, obviously these beautiful ones. But here's what I'm talking about that I want to share with you because I saw that Cami popped on. Right here, this is very simple. Click to email, click to call, click to tour, contact us as well, request a brochure, all of those things. Here, above the fold, homepage, instantly, I want you to give us your information. Download this brochure right now, right? Boom, here it is. Give us your name, email, phone number. Bam. That is going to kick off the rest of the marketing. Okay. So it's something that I really want to, you know, and then they have their package details in here. So it kind of shares a little bit about what they do. Obviously it's, you know, it's in bullets. Here's, of course, we're always layering in photos, but guess what's right here on the right-hand side? And this is a very, like, here's the thing. This is a very simple, like, I'm not looking for somebody to have the most complex technology. What I want is I want calls to action, people giving us their information, people requesting tours. That's what I want. I want that happening all the time, no matter what we do. And right here on the right-hand side, again, is another call to action. And so, like, this is what I'm talking about. And then we get into galleries, right? We want to make sure that we're showcasing how beautiful the venue is. And so here it is. Oh, boom, call to action on the right-hand side again. So however they end up getting into the site, whatever they end up doing, they get into the site, they're going to get hit with download a brochure, request a tour. Oh, look at our beautiful photos. You know, that's accommodations. Oh, here's the ranch grounds, right? Only a couple in that one. Okay, here's some weddings. Let's see, what do we have? Ceremony area. There we go. Boom. Okay. Oh, pet friendly. That's another cool thing. But obviously you kind of get the gist, right? And then we got, you know, an FAQ, where they can get their, you know, a lot of their questions answered. And, you know, do we allow pets? Yes, we do. Okay, awesome. So this is kind of what I was getting at when I was just saying your contact information is there and bam, there's a call to action. So that's just a quick one. I appreciate your guys' time today. We will do the second leg of these. We've got, let me see who we have left. We have the Ma Mason, and holy cow, if I said that wrong, I apologize. Let's see. So then we also have Stonegate Manor Events. Oh, that's interesting. Stonegate Weddings, Stonegate Manor Events, two totally different businesses with similar names. So let's see. Next is Sowell Farms. And then there's also Parkside Mansion. That's actually in Denver. I've actually been there. I used to live in Denver. And then there's the Chaplain on the Mountain. And oh wow, there's a few more that have come in here. We've got the Barn at Win. Is it the Barn at twinvalley.com? Okay, so the Barn at Twin Valley. And then last is Hub 925. So we've got a few for the next session. I'm going to do the next session on, let's see, on Thursday. Let me actually double check my calendar super fast. I want to see what we've got Thursday. How about this time we do it? Actually, let's do it at the exact same time on Thursday. Or, here, let me ask you guys really quick. Hopefully you could jump in. Would earlier in the day be better or the same time as we did today? Let me know what you think really quick in the comments. I know there's a few people left. I'd like to hear what your guys' take is. Earlier in the day or at the same time. And I will wait. Sorry, I know this is probably actually weird because with the delay, I'm watching the delay happen over here on my other monitor. So it's kind of funny to sit here and kind of see myself talk. So we got one person saying same time. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that. Same time works, Prudy. I appreciate it. You're next, Prudy. So that'll be fun. Oh, Karen, you're next too. Hey, Karen, did I say that right? The Mason, or is it Myson? All right, we got a couple that are same time for Thursday. So that was supposed to be, what time was that supposed to be? One, what did we choose here? Oh, we can't wait. Oh, cool. Glad, Pretty. I'm really pumped to do yours. It'll be fun. Uh-oh. Karen, I didn't say it correctly. That's all right. Maybe you can send me a voice message over Facebook Messenger, and you can record just the voice piece and tell me how I should pronounce it. I don't want to butcher it next session. So, all right. All right. So I guess we're going to keep the same time for Thursday. I appreciate everybody for being here. And if you guys have questions, listen, this comment thread is gonna be here. You guys can watch this. You guys can keep commenting. I will promise. Oh my gosh! Of course it's French. Thank you, Karen. Send me that message. This is gonna be here, so you guys can jump in. You guys can leave comments, ask questions. If you guys need something, feel free to reach out direct. I'd appreciate it. I really want to help. I want to serve you guys as much as we can. So I'm looking forward to hearing from each of you. And for those of you who are up next week, let's just hope that I'm in another pretty good mood, so I don't beat anybody down too bad on their website. But anyhow, I appreciate it. Thanks, guys, and we will catch you next on Thursday. All right, take it easy.